Live from the City of Angels, we just got the news here. Just finished a live stream like 20 minutes ago. And I checked X and see the news that you all have seen at this point. Val Kilmer, dead at the age of 65. And I figured we have to do a live stream now. I mean, this is a guy, I go back to being a young kid, watching his work in Top Secret. I believe it was his first role, 1984, Zucker Brothers. And then one of my favorite comedies of all time, in Real Genius. Obviously, Top Gun would soon follow. And then you talk about a legacy in this town, someone who was fully committed, right? I mean, few actors could match his on-screen charisma. When you watch Val Kilmer, he was the center of attention, and he commanded it. And that's when you know you're within the aura of greatness, right? And I think when you watch those early roles, and again, I was just young when I remember watching Top Secret. My mom and dad had it on in the other room, and I'm like, who's this dude? You just knew. This guy's a star. And tonight, I figured we'd watch some scenes from his storied career. As you guys know, MMT, we don't care about copyright stuff. We'll play what we damn well want. And we're going to play some Val Kilmer best of this evening. Join in with your comments. I'm flying solo tonight. I'll try to get to as many as possible. Let's just start with, I mean, you talk about iconic roles, right? Let's start with the Iceman. And the introduction in the bar, one of the true Americana films of all time. Top Gun. Val Kilmer, dead at the age of 65.
Matt, you want to know who the best is? That's him, Iceman. That's the way he flies, ice cold, no mistakes. Just wears you down. You get bored, frustrated, do something stupid, and he's got you. Hey, Slider. Thought you wanted to be a pilot, man. What happened?
Goose, you're such a dickhead. Whose butt did you kiss to get in here, huh?
Well, the list is long but distinguished.
Yeah, well, so's my Johnson.
So you're flying with Iceman, huh?
It's Mr. Iceman to you.
Hey, Mother Goose, how's it going? I'm doing good, Tom. This is Pete Mitchell, Tom Kazansky.
Congratulations on Top Gun.
Thank you.
Sorry to hear about Cougar. He and I were like brothers in flight school. He was a good man.
Still is a good man.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Thought so.
Say, you need any help?
With what?
You figured it out yet?
What's that?
Who's the best pilot?
No, I think I can figure that one out on my own.
I heard that about you. You like to work alone.
Mav, you must have sold under a lucky star, huh? I mean, first the MiG, and then you guys slide into Cougar spot.
No, we didn't slide into Cougar's spot. It was ours, okay?
Yeah, well, some pilots wait their whole career just to see a MiG up close. Guess you guys are lucky and famous, huh?
No, you mean notorious. I'll see you later.
Just had that command of the screen, right? And that intensity that you see in that scene from Val Kilmer. And you look at Tom Cruise and Kilmer, two young kids back in, 85 when they shot this, released in 86. I mean, you guys don't understand. Some of you who are the younger generation, you all don't know what it was like when a movie like Top Gun was everything. Like, it permeated throughout society. It was the only game in town, right? Now everything's been completely atomized, as I like to say here on MMT. We have so many options. Back then, you had 4 channels on TV. If you had cable, you maybe had 25. And then you had the movies. And everyone went, and when the movie was massive like Top Gun, that's all anyone was talking about. Everyone had the cassette. I know I did. Wore the fucking shit out of that. It ripped, right? All those tracks. One of the best soundtracks of all time. But again, Val Kilmer, he's only had like 3 roles at this point. In fact, I want to take you back to just if you've never watched Top Secret, and this is what a treat. If you've never seen Top Secret, people talk about Airplane and Naked Gun. No one talks about Top Secret, but Val Kilmer, I believe it's his first role. It's like, here comes a movie star, everybody. I'm clicking the window. Give me a second.
Well, get out on that floor and hit that rug tonight. Well, get out on that floor and hit that rug tonight. We're gonna shake that rug to the early, early light. I say the romp and stomp and slide like the devil on the thread. Yeah, I say the romp and stomp and slide like the devil on the thread. Well, stand back, baby, I believe I'm gonna free my edge. You gotta straighten your rug. Yeah, straighten your rug. You gotta give it a push. Yeah, give it a shove. Well,
first roll.
Give it a tug.
I mean, to be plucked from essentially nowhere, and then, by the way, you're going to front this film. Another one of these movies that I remember from being like just super young, watching it, going, my parents loved Airplane, so they say, watch this Top Secret. You won't get all the jokes, but you'll have fun and certainly recognize, even though I couldn't put it into words back then, who's this dude? Because he's got it, right? He's got it. But, you talk about a Top Secret, and certainly you see it there, the energy and the command of the screen. But for me, if you ask me, what film do you come back to more than any film, right? Like, this is the film that when you are just in a mood, this will make you feel better. It's Real Genius. And let me tell you, if you've never seen Real Genius, again, boy, you have a treat in front of you. We're going to watch a scene that I remember, again, first time watching this, and I'm like, this guy has such a cockiness to him, but also a likability to him as Chris Knight in Real Genius. And I can tell you right now, watch this scene. And as you watch this, and those of you who've seen Real Genius, I've talked about this before in MMT. If you want to know where Ryan Reynolds got his entire shtick, all of it, it came from Val Kilmer in Real Genius.
I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to know you at all.
I don't care. No.
I can't stand it. Have you ever seen a body like this before in your life?
She happens to be my daughter.
Oh, well, then I guess you have.
Coming down?
Yeah. No, seriously, listen, if there's ever anything I can do for you, or more to the point, to you, you let me know, okay?
That is, you guys, I know you think, well, I'm watching Ryan Reynolds. Reynolds watched Kilmer. It's eerie, is it not? 100%.
Can you hammer a 6-inch spike through a board with your penis?
Not right now.
A girl's gotta have her standards.
Susan.
So good. So good. He's really, this is the thing, right? We can talk about Tombstone. We're going to watch a little Doors here in a minute. I mean, that's one hell of a performance. Kiss, Kiss, Bang, Bang, Heat. But if you were to say, how will you remember Val Kilmer? It's Chris Knight. Hello. I mean, that's it. Iceman and Chris Knight. Okay? And then the young Erick was like, Top Secret. But, right, when you say, what are the things, it's, my God. I mean, guys, Real Genius is quintessential 80s and just a feel-good, happy film that we just don't get anymore. We don't get movies like this. It's a shame, isn't it? It's a shame that Val Kilmer has passed away at the age of 65. Back to the article. Listen, we knew he was in bad shape, right? You saw Top Gun Maverick. In fact, I think I have the scene up here. Let's go ahead and watch that in a second. But he was, in his dying days when he filmed that. Anyone who watched Top Gun Maverick, and I'm certain everyone who's watching right now saw the film. Who didn't watch it? Okay. So you knew that time was limited, and apparently died of pneumonia here in Los Angeles. And this is the scene from Top Gun Maverick when it was a surprise. I remember seeing this movie early, and we didn't know that Val Kilmer was going to be in it. We knew that he was not doing well from a health standpoint. And then came the scene, reunion, as we watched from the beginning in the bar, to now Cruise and Kilmer. And let's watch a bit of that right now.
I don't know how. I'm not a teacher, Ice. I'm a fighter pilot. Naval aviator. It's not what I am. It's who I am. How do I teach that? Even if I could teach it, it's not what Rooster wants. It's not what the Navy wants. That's why they canned me the last time. The only reason I'm here is you. If I send him on this mission, he might never come home. And if I don't send him, he'll never forgive me. Either way, I could lose him forever.
And I think as we watch this, right, it hits that much harder. But I think we knew, right, when we saw Top Gun Maverick 2 years ago now, that this was likely the last time
Needs Maverick.
that we would see.
The kid needs Maverick. That's why I fought for you. That's why you're still here. Thank you, Ice.
And we knew it at that moment, right?
One last thing. Who's the better pilot? You or me? This is a nice moment. Let's not ruin it.
Everyone just broke out in laughter. That was such a great moment. I mean, listen, again, going back to the IMDb page, as we look at that, you can see all the roles, again, starting with Top Secret in 1984. And then you roll up the After School Special, then Real Genius, Top Gun. We just watched like the three first films that he did, right? Scenes from those. Willow. The Doors. In fact, let's watch the little Doors. I think I have it lined up here. Light My Fire. Oh, man. Listen, again, another film formative for me. Watching this multiple times in theaters and, say younger Erick. And I just remember going, this is cinema. Like, this is legit, right? And not just because of the overall impact of The Doors and Morrison. But I think the thing that you realize when you watch this is that Val Kilmer was committed, right? And that's the most beautiful thing in any actor, even if it goes kind of sideways. it's always wonderful to see someone who is 100% all in. And he was, because he sang all of Morrison's songs, including Light My Fire, Break On Through. Here's the scene from The Doors.
What's the matter?
It's not it. It just doesn't sound right.
You know that, John? Jim, man. Stay in time. Jim.
I said we tried that bossa nova beat, right? That's what I was telling you about.
I think it's hot.
God, look how young everyone is, right? Like, good God, time is vicious, isn't it? You look at everyone we've watched here, going back to Top Gun, when you saw Cruise and Kilmer there way back in 85, 86. Crazy, right? I mean, time.
I think the lyrics kind of weird, man.
You write one, man. Need more songs anyway, man.
I thought it was pretty good. Let's go outside.
Definitely, when you talk about his best roles, we're looking at one right here, right? But that's the thing. As we watch these scenes, and there's so many options. I'm not even a huge fan of Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, but it did earn him an Oscar nomination. No, actually, it didn't. I don't. Was he even? I thought he was nominated for what? He wasn't nominated for Heat, right? He wasn't. That's a shame, because you're talking about one of the greatest actors of all time, and certainly most committed actors that we've ever had, and you've got nothing from the Academy. And that's why we talk about a lot with the Oscars, the winners and the losers, and then the reality of the situation where you talk about people who should have wins or at least numerous nominations, and they don't. I mean, how do you not for The Doors? Even if you don't like what Oliver Stone did in the movie, maybe it brought the performance. We always talk about extracting performances from a film. That's what you're trying to do, even if the film is borderline unwatchable, and that's definitely not The Doors, right? Let's look at Heat, because that's another. You talk about a classic film, right? And you think about all the actors in that. Pacino, De Niro, and, of course, Val Kilmer. And here's the scene with De Niro in De Niro's pad out in Malibu. Let's watch a bit of that from Heat.
What happened to you?
When are you gonna get some furniture?
When I get around to it.
Charlene's gonna leave me.
Why?
No steaks in the freezer.
With everything we've been doing?
Vegas is Super Bowl. Clean me out. And you're gonna get an old lady.
When I get around to it. You got something else on the side?
Nothing regular.
She got something else on the side?
No.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
I don't know what you're doing. Remember Jimmy McElwain on the yard used to say, you want to be making moves on the street, have no attachments, allow nothing to be in your life that you cannot walk out on in 30 seconds flat if you spot the heat around the corner. Remember that?
For me, the sun rises and sets with her, man.
There's the line, right? The sun rises and sets with her. Ashley Judd. God, Heat. Right? But you talk about this filmography as we break it out again and go back to he was Elvis, right? Or Elvis-ish in True Romance. Tombstone, we've got a scene lined up from that. Batman, right? We all forget he played Batman. Heat, Island of Dr. Moreau, on and on, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. mean, he was a working big time. I mean, he was an A-list #1 lead actor starting in about, let's talk about The Doors. Go back to like 90 and on. I mean, look, he led Real Genius and also Top Secret, his first film. He was the lead, right? But he became, Hollywood's A-list. When you get to be Batman, you're at the top. I don't care if it's Clooney, Pattinson now. You don't get Batman unless you are at the top of the heap. And that's exactly where he was. Interesting story. I want to tell the story. I never have told the story. And I think this is one of the things that, having a lot of relationships here in this town in Los Angeles, I know a lot of people who I have firsthand knowledge of these people. And I used to be a PA on a TV show with one of the cast members who would talk about being on different shows and movies. And I remember distinctly discussion of Tombstone and Kilmer, and just how whenever Kilmer came to set, he was so intense and so dialed in and so focused that the crew was just like, okay, give this dude some space. And I think if you were to talk to anybody who worked with Kilmer, they would tell you that he might not have been the easiest person to get along with for a chunk of his career. But one thing you always got, and you see in every one of the clips that we have watched here, is a fearlessness, right? And a total commitment to role. And when you go look at a Tombstone, as we get ready to watch that, it's same thing. It's just right there for you. You cannot miss it. Even if you're blind, you will see it. You will feel it. And you watch it here. I'm Your Huckleberry, the scene.
Why, Johnny Ringo. You look like somebody just walked over your grave.
Fight's not with you, Holiday.
I beg to differ, sir. We started a game we never got to finish. Play for blood, remember?
I was just fooling about.
I wasn't. And this time, it's legal.
All right, Lunger. Let's do it. Say when.
Come on. Come on! Oh, Johnny. Come on! You're no Daisy. You're no Daisy at all.
Poor soul. He was just too high-strung.
I'm afraid the strain was more than he could bear.
The Mustache Gang, man, I'll tell you, that's a strong mustache game. Everybody in that film, you forget about that, how important that was to that film. When you look at Val Kilmer, again, as we go back to the THR article here, just even though we knew it was pretty much over, right? We knew that it was. We're in the final quarter. We're in the final seconds. Okay. It still comes as a shock when it finally is announced that he has died at only 65. That's not very old, right? And I think that's the other thing. You say to yourself, how many more performances could we have gotten had disease and, these illnesses struck him down at only the age of 65? But again, to look at the IMDb, the background, the filmography, it's just such a long and impressive list of projects that will have a lasting, iconic, right? These roles, they will ring throughout the echoes of time forever. I mean, that's how big some of these roles and his performances in these films was. That's how crucial they were. And that's why when I heard this news tonight, I'm saying we've got to do a stream and discuss this. I'm going to end it here like this because I want to keep it on a very positive note as much as we can, because obviously it's a somber night. Thanks for being here on MMT, by the way. Appreciate it. We're going to watch. What's a great way to leave this? I've got it. You know it. Playing with the Boys from Top Gun. Val Kilmer, hell of an actor. We'll miss you. Val Kilmer, dead at the age of 65.
Let's go! Okay, I said. That's good. Okay, come on, Ice. Come on, stand up. Go now. Come on, man. 47. Now we can get them. These guys are animals. Oh, good sir, good sir.
Peace out, guys. We'll see you next time here on MM.
Just one more game. That evens it up. Come on, we can take this, man. No, we can't. We got it.
I got some things I gotta take care of.